Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Now then, folks. Wasn't going to jump on tonight, but just fancied it. The weather's horrible. It's keeping me awake. So I thought I'd jump on here. Might be a bit of a shorter one tonight. We'll see how we go. You know me in the chat. It should be late night Leeds on a Friday. Anybody who hasn't watched it and you're stuck with what to do after this, go watch it from last night. It was a great show. Really enjoyed it. Had to do it at night early because Mr. AG, Mr. Adam Gardner, is up for the game tomorrow, treating us all to hospitality. So we couldn't do it tonight. So we did it last night instead. So if you haven't watched it, there's quite a few that normally watch it, I think, that haven't. Go check that out. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on for a bit of a solo stream. You know me. I like to get on here with chat and just have a bit of a chinwag between yous. And yeah, touch on tomorrow. Justin Thomas, hey up, buddy. Laid in hospital. Had knee up this morning. All gone well. 2-1 as well. I'm glad to hear it's all gone well, Justin. Hopefully you're not laid up too long. Will you be watching it in your hospital bed tomorrow, or are you out fairly sharpish? I hope recovers all right, mate. Is that something you've had planned a while, Justin, or have you had a sort of accident recently? Hopefully, you're all right, pal. Hey up, Colin. Evening, Matty and chat. How you doing, mate? Yeah, I echo that too, buddy. Alice. All right, Matty lad. Hey up, Alice. Hope you have a nice journey to Manchester tomorrow, and see how we get on. I'm really intrigued for your game tomorrow, I won't lie. Any Sunderland fans watching this, I am very intrigued to see how you get on at Scum. I cannot call it, but for me, you go in there as favourites, and probably on the basis of form, can probably get some out of that game. Hey up, Paul. We're having a windy evening. We are, Dave. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous that this storm takes over and game will go ahead tomorrow. Please tell me I'm being daft. Please tell me that is not even possible for a Premier League outfit. AG will be a lot more bothered than me because he spent a hefty amount on going to the game tomorrow. Yeah, I'm really nervous until I'm sat there watching it that it's going to go ahead. Hope it does though. Colin, windy in Bradford, but not too bad. Didn't need to tie myself down to something. It's inside of me. I don't need to tie myself down, won't me? I'm all right. This is why I'm a big lad, just for moments like this. Wind's not taking me anywhere. Managed to get the dog walked and fed before 10. Managed to be here from the start for a change. Nice one, Paul. Thanks, mate. Don't mean to disappoint you. It's normally late night Leeds on a Friday. If you haven't twigged, it's not late night Leeds. So this is nowhere near as fun as a late night Leeds show. Listen to me waffle on. But you know I love coming in here on my own and having a natter with chat. So get your comments in. We'll get through it. Let me know what you think about tomorrow. Let me know your lineup. Let me know everything you want to get. You want to get out of your system before tomorrow. Get it on here, and we'll go through comments together as we always do. Nige, good to see you, mate. Always good to see you in Nige. Thanks, mate. Hope you've had a good week. All right, Matt. I can't wait to watch your great football that you play at 12:30. Ian Brown, you will watch some fantastic football if you're watching us, pal. I think what you need to do, mate, is watch a bit more Sunderland. I ain't gonna lie. Watch a bit more of Sunderland, mate. Leeds is your second team, maybe even your first team. I think through me, you're getting your Leeds United fix that you really, really crave. It's like you're in the closet of being a Leeds fan and you're just try to bang your way out of that closet, mate. You're definitely a closet Leeds fan for me, Ian Brown. But you know I love you. I don't know it's mutual. Is it very windy and rainy? Richard Hogan, it is very, very windy and very rainy, yeah. More windy than rainy, actually, right now. A bit drizzly, but yeah, very windy. Absolute minimum for tomorrow would be a point. I won't be able to watch or listen. Moving my nephew to his new place, so on driving duty. That's a shame, Dave. I'm sure you'll be refreshing the scores. Yeah, I mean, minimum you want is a point. It's mad for me to even say it, but if we lose, as long as we play well, I honestly, I'll be okay with it. I'm I'm okay with it because I've seen enough in opening games to suggest we're going to be fine. I just don't want the performances to drop. You know, I think the performance has been pretty good nearly every week by Arsenal. I was annoyed after Fulham. That's just natural, I think, to lose a game like that. I was a lot more annoyed after Fulham than I was at the Bournemouth game. You know, Bournemouth, I was just immensely proud of how they're playing. And yeah, I think if I can come out of Elland Road tomorrow, regardless of the result, and feel good about what I've seen, it's certainly not a free hit. I don't think Tottenham are good enough to class them as a free hit. They're way better than us on paper. They've got, you know, transfer budget, the amount they can pay the players, the class, the quality they've got. They've got a top draw manager who I think, and honestly, I think he's an absolute class manager, Thomas Frank. But I don't think you can class it as a free hit. You know, they almost lost to Wolves. They drew midweek, late again, too late. Late equalisers. Yeah, 2 late equalisers in last 2 games. I think that'd be got at. I think if we stand off them and give them too much respect, they could beat us. I think they've scored 4 past us each of the last 3 games. But I do think we're a different beast. So a point would be brilliant. 3 points would be unbelievable. No points is definitely a possibility. But as long as we perform to our best, I can't really grumble, mate. Richard Hogan, evening all. Evening, Richard. Hope you're well, mate. Ryan Cook, evening, Maya, and all watching. Cheers, pal. Please smash a like. Please subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, smash as many likes as you can. 36 in, 10 likes. Let's get those likes up to pretty much 36. Would be nice. Smash as a like, please. You legends. Really appreciate it. Can't see them calling off. It better not, Dave. I'll be fuming, mate. I'll be fuming. Not as much as Adam like, but yeah, nice. Windy and wet here in LS12. Is that where you're from, LS12? I'm an old Farnley lad, me. Yeah, I don't live there now, like, but yeah, old Farnley, that was LS12. LS12 5AH. That used to be my old postcode. Late night Maya is tonight, Richard. It is. So don't be disappointed if you're expecting to see late night Leeds, or if you are, just don't tell me you're disappointed, because I know me doing this on my own is not as good as watching Boss Nass and AG to me left and right. That's a fact. Hi, buddy. Hope you're good tonight. I'm good, Christopher. Thanks for dropping in, mate. I hope you and the family are well too, buddy. Richard Hogan. Ian Brown was actually disappointed with the result of the 73 Cup final. He was wounded, wasn't he? He was wounded. Class that. I love that, mate. Well done. And Paul Smith, apparently it's something like 2021 versus Burnley since we won 12-30 at home. Is that right? Something like... Oh, I don't know, Paul. I've not seen that. Thanks for throwing frighteners in me now, mate. Has it really been that long? Like 4 or 5 years since we won at 12:30 at home? Oh, yeah. Don't tell me that. We're really, really shit at breaking traditions as well, aren't we? Like, if there's something that's gone on for a period of time, Leeds are really shit at, like, overcoming that until it's become, like, a huge, like, I don't know, thing that's lasted decades. Does my head in. But yeah, hopefully that won't happen tomorrow. I'm praying he brings on Pirro to Moz. Has had a clear dream of him scoring last minute winning goal. Yeah, I mean, he's going to struggle for minutes, and I think it's quite clear that, Colin. He's definitely going to struggle for minutes, which is a shame because I really do rate Pirro. I just think in this system with the players we have, I think when you're competing with Calvert-Lewin and Metcher, with his attributes, I just don't think we've always said, haven't we, even last 2 seasons, you know, does he fit the system? Is he the right striker? I think for Leeds United, when we're in Championship with the quality we've got, 100%, he were fine. You know what I mean? He'd always score goals. He'd always have that many chances. I think in Premier League it's a bit tougher, and I do think his attribute-wise is the third rated striker at the club. Albeit I think he's the best finisher. But I don't know, mate. You know, is it fair to assume he won't get any minutes at all unless there's an injury to one of the two? That sounds wild, because imagine if Calvert-Lewin and Metcher are fit for the next 2 months. Does that mean he don't kick a ball for 6, 7, 8 games? It sounds ridiculous to say that. I suppose it depends on game state. While ever we're in a game, I do feel like it'll just be Calvert-Lewin off, Metcher on, while ever they're fit. I think, you know, if we're behind by a goal and we're needing something, then maybe he comes on for those moments. But luckily, you know, touch wood, it continues where we're in games and we're either leading by a goal or we're tying, you know, going into final moments, and maybe you don't see a fit there bringing him in. But yeah, it's wild, isn't it, to be top scorer in league last season, be, you know, his main goal threat, and then be third choice option at minute. But yeah, I don't know where his minutes come from at minute, pal. I really don't. Just got to keep working hard in training and wait for his chance because he'll get a chance at some point. And we've seen Pido when he was last time he were out the fold and he were on the bench behind Joseph. A bit different, don't get me wrong, in Championship. Try to rival Joseph for number 9 shirt. Definitely doable, and he achieved it. But last time he were out of favour, he fought his way back in, didn't he, to Farker's thinking. By the scarce minutes he were given, he made an impact. And at some point he will get minutes. He's just got to make an impact when he does. Is there any to watch the match tomorrow live via I don't know, mate. Someone in chat might gear that, mate. I have no idea, buddy. I'll do West Yorkshire retro game. I hope you well, mate. Hey up, Ina. Hope you're good, buddy. Paul Smith, I think they play better away than home, but I think we are in with a shot. Yeah, they do. I think they've got the best away form currently in the Premier League, which isn't a big sample size, but they do have the best away form currently. I don't know if that's based on they've won them all and maybe scored more than everybody else, I assume. But yeah, we've got in his press conference. It was a bit of a weird one, really, because I think he mentioned we'd nearly gone a year, and someone corrected him. One of the journals said, "Oh no, they've gone over a year, unbeaten at Elland Road," and he were like, "Oh, my analyst team or whoever have sort of fed me wrong information there." And they were a little bit taken back that we've gone over a year unbeaten at Elland Road. So it's going to be quite a test for us with them being so good away from home at the minute. Hart says 2-1 Leeds, Head says 1-1. I'm changing my tune as it gets closer. I've gone from 1-1 to 2-1 Leeds to 3-1 Leeds, which is mental. Because in my head, I just keep thinking 2-1. They'll get another set piece, a bit like Bournemouth towards end. And what we'll do is we'll head this one out because we'll have learned from last week. And then we'll go full length at pitch and score. Then I'm like, well, you ain't got no Dan James, mate. And you're going to have Aronson on his last legs potentially, or Harrison coming on. No one's just going to try and score again. They'll take it into corner flag. Like, fuck off. It's like this on my shoulder. Like, nah. So in my head, we're going to go 93rd minute. And instead of conceding second, we're going to go get third. You know, a bit like Brentford did against Scum. In my head, that's why I'm sort of playing it. But I think that's a little bit too mental, really. I think 2-1's probably right. But if it is 3-1, then I said 3-1. But if it's 2-1, I said 2-1. If we get 3 point time streaking through the idle village, it's getting to a point in it where, you know, same against Bournemouth, when you're looking at points there, if we keep that, you know, if we keep that 2-1, would have been on what 10 points, sorry, and you're thinking, chuffing Nora, you know, this is way better than we got told will be. You know, the so-called pundits and media and other fans, you know, this is what's going on here. This is madness. But it turns out, guess what? We are pretty good. And the gap and the gulf in quality isn't as big as people say. To the top teams, it is. But to that mid to low end bracket, other than the newly promoted side, it's not as big as people think. I agree with my mate Jack City, who said that in his video yesterday. Yeah, there's a gulf for some teams, but not for every team. Not for every team. And we are doing brilliant. We are a much different team from our previous encounters and are much more defensively solid. Yeah, we are, mate. Like I say, we've conceded 4 in the last 3 against them. Let's be fair, when we've been in Premier League, even when we've been doing well, there has been like just massive gaping holes in middle of the park and the teams have just marauded through. You don't see that now. There's 4-3-3s made us, you know, so defensively sound and taking that edge off the anxiety of a team like Tottenham coming thinking, let's be fair, honestly, in Premier League last time, even under Bielsa, everybody, I kind of thought, you know, 3-4 goals is a possibility today. I don't see that tomorrow. I don't see it. You know, yeah, there's a chance we don't win game. But I don't think we get 3 or 4 put past us. Yeah, it happened at Arsenal. We might have odd away game like that. At Elland Road, I do not see anybody coming to Elland Road and putting 4 goals past Leeds. Not this Leeds United. Not now. I don't. And I love feeling like that. And I love that being every game I've gone to, bar Arsenal, every game I've gone to, which I think is nearly all of them, to be fair, if not all of them. Fulham, I didn't go to Fulham. But then you're there and just to feel like you're in the game. Like every game I've been sat there thinking, well, we're in this game. You know, having a 20-minute spell where we're better than the opposition who's an established Premier League side. We've been brainwashed or attempted to be brainwashed into believing that we've got no fucking chance against them. Yeah, I don't know why it's beyond belief that Leeds can mix it with a Fulham. Leeds mixed it and did better mixing than Bournemouth. Absolutely outmixed. Fucking Wolves, you know. Everton, I don't get why it's so unfathomable for people to think we can mix it with teams apart from, you know, the creme de la creme at the top of the league, you know, which hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 surprises there too. But, you know, the general feel of over the season, there is a gulf, but not with vast majority of the league, with a proportion of it. And yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm in a really good mood about it. And I don't think anything tomorrow, unless we get slapped up and I'm talking shit and they put 3, 4, 5 past us and it's a poor performance, then I'll come and I'll be fuming because nobody wants to see that. But if we play anywhere near our best, then regardless of what happens, I'll be proud of them. My daughter lives through Knaresborough, so I've got a soft spot for Leeds, but all Sunderland here, yeah, defo fuming the 70. You see, it's coming out, Ian. You see, put that little rod out and it's coming in. There we go. Knaresborough, soft spot. Yeah, I've got what size shirt? You've got some spares. I don't want you buying your first Leeds shop. Top out. You can have one off me, mate. Joe Blackburn, hi, buddy. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you and the missus are well. This is one of the sides where I really don't mind us losing. Show what we can. If we end up with no points, then it's understandable. That's me, Joe. So I don't think it's a free hit. I aren't going to give him that much credit, but it's definitely one of the ones on paper you look at and go, if you're counting up your points and you're tallying up, I mean, I did one at the beginning of the season where you sort of look at who you think you'll win, and these weren't down as the one I thought would get points off. It wasn't. Bournemouth, I think, would have been probably a draw. This one I think would lose. But then the next two, the Burnley and West Ham, they're the two you target and go, if we can get 6 points out of them, we're in dreamland, even 4 points. But this is definitely a game, if you were to go through fixture by fixture and tally them up, this is one you probably just say, yeah, rather than being unrealistic and saying Leeds will win every game, this is probably when I'd say, yeah, we probably don't win. But now it's here, and I'm looking at, they've got a few injuries, the European game on midweek. I look at them and think we can get them. The form isn't great in the last two, and we're a bit of a beast at the minute. The way we approach games, we're really hungry for every tackle. The attack has crept in the last few weeks out of nowhere. We can't score goals. All of a sudden, scored 5 and 2, and we look very threatening every time we cross the halfway line with ball. So yeah, it's a game. I'm very much same as that, Joe. I want to see him. I don't want to see him get rolled over. I don't want to see a lack of effort. I don't want to see him give too much respect. I want to see him play to the similar levels we've seen already this season. And if we don't win, we don't win. I can cope with that on this one. The next two after this, we just need we need points regardless of how we play. But I just want to see a good performance tomorrow. And if they're slightly off it and we play to our capability, we can win. New family, my grandma Nige, she passed away 3 years ago, did my grandma? She lived on Castlings Gardens. Do you know that? Bungalows, Castlings Gardens up at top. So, yeah, she lived there for about 20 odd years. Used to go up there twice a week before she passed. Hey, Richard, beat Wednesday at 12 p.m. last season. Yeah, we did. I'll have been there as well. I'll have been there. Please do a job on our rivals this weekend. Come on, guys, if you really want to stay up. Yeah, to be fair, Gunnar, this isn't the game that defines if we stay up or not. But yeah, these are the games as a fan that I want to watch. Do you know, it's a weird line, because the games you think you can win and get points out of, like Burnley and West Ham, next two, and I'm thinking, yeah, Premier League games, I want to win football. Don't matter who we play, I want them to win. But they are the games that excite me. They're the games I'm excited about, being able to win. And it might be more enjoyable experience as a fan because we might actually win those games. But Spurs, City, Liverpool, the scum game, Chelsea game, these are the games that I'm interested in. These are the games that I really want to watch as a fan, although they may be the most painful and horrible games to watch as a Leeds fan, because they may be the ones we pick up no points in potentially. So yeah, it's quite an interesting dynamic, but I don't think this defines us at all, but it can. The momentum for me can continue even with a loss if the performance is there. And we've got two massive games, massive games after the national, but there's no getting away from that. They're huge. Keithley White's here, being well behaved as usual. I'll lay up, mate. Up now. Hope you're well, mate. My mate Callum is from Keithley and he's travelling to game tomorrow. Well, on train. I hope he can get there actually if trains are knackered with storm. Bless him. I hope he can. I can't even say his name, Alice. It's such a hard name for him. Mukulele. I don't know if that's right. Injury rumours were fake. No reason why we can't go for a win tomorrow. United are effing shite nowadays. Yes, they are. So yeah, he's not injured. Good news for you, mate. Good news for you. Big loss if it had been out. Leeds not a new club. You didn't have to smash us 5. Yeah, too right. Chuck him on for the last 20. Hey up, Matty. Hey up, Eddie. You need to get off this and get some work done, you. Driving around on your forklift. You can do it in your sleep, that's why you've been doing it that long. Hope you're well, bud. I know we don't win any cup, but that's what happens when you're welcome back to the Premier League. We're facing a big team, yeah. Be a Leeds fan tomorrow, just tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure if you went to the game, Gunnar, when we played you, I'm sure you'll have been impressed with Leeds fans. Not that you'll have been surprised. Because let's be fair, it's what we do in it. It's what we do as fans. We're singing 4-0, 5-0 down, and we're still singing for more. Emmett, hope you're well. Leeds 3, Spurs 1. Lewin, Okafor, and Longstaff to score. It's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout for goal scorers. Is it just me, or is there a bit of a mank in that accent? In my accent? Fucking joking, aren't you? No, mate. You obviously don't know your things too well. Your accents too well. You can't do because no. Fucking hell. I get a nosebleed when I cross border, mate. Fucking no chance. In case you just woke up from a coma and just been sacked from Spurs and he's now managing Forest, and Forest are playing like shit these days. I like that. It's funny. It's funny. Spurs are there for the taking. They're not settled yet under Frank. Great time to play. Yeah, I agree with that. Evening, Richard. Hope you're well, mate. We win Spurs 3-1. I hope so, buddy. Christian Griffiths. Hey up, Matty. 6 goals from 6 different players. Who's next? Bogle, Strauch, Ampadu. Yeah, maybe. Strauch's due one. Especially with Longstaff set pieces now. Hopefully, it's not the end of road on scoring streak either, Christian. Hopefully he can start getting more goals to his game, because that delivery on last Saturday looked brilliant for Longstaff, so I assume he'll stick on set pieces. Ampadu, we're going to be lucky to see him score, aren't we? Really are. I can't remember last time he had a shot, to be fair. Bogle's always good for an assist or a goal, to be fair. But yeah, I just want to see him turn up tomorrow. We all know what lineup's going to be. There'll be no change at lineup for me. So early DCL goal will be perfect. Yeah, it would. I think DCL will get early goal. I'd love to see us go up dead early in the game, because I think I say game management looks really good. It does until that final moments, I guess. But I think if we can get a lead at Elland Road, I think it'll be very hard for them to come back into the game. I really do. Although, if we score too early, will we sit back, fairly early as well? I don't know. But I definitely believe in this team. We've come back from a goal down a couple of times already. So the fight, the endeavour, they've got the right attitude. I really want to see what it would be like holding a lead for, a long period of time within a game, seeing if we can add to a lead. A bit like we did at Wolves when we go 2-1 up, can we stretch that to 2 goals and hold on to it? Christmas offer Chapel 9.99 super chat. Thanks, mate. Have a drink tomorrow on me. Have a drink on me tomorrow, love. They should. Matty, keep up the hard work. Oh, thanks, Christopher, man. Thanks, massive support at channel. Really good friend of mine as well. Thanks, Christopher, mate. Really appreciate that, buddy. You didn't have to, me. But thanks so much, pal. Absolute legend, mate. Hope you have a really good weekend, and I'll speak to you in group chat tomorrow. Let's be fair. Thank you, pal. They're saying 5 p.m. Yes. 6 months has been waiting. But right, okay. They're saying 5 p.m. Right, okay. Well, hopefully, mate, your recovery isn't too bad. I assume time off work and stuff like that to come. Yeah, hopefully you're all right, mate. Physically and mentally. If you ever need a bit of a chin wag, reach out to me. Not saying you do, Justin, but I said if you need it, buddy. That's not Mank. He's Castleford. I'm not a Castleford man. Bog off. Bogle is due a league goal. He is, mate. He is. He really is. Nosebleed across the border, laugh my ass off. Me too. I'm in Halifax and lived in Hebden Bridge for ages. Hate it. It's so close to the border. Yeah, it's how I feel. No offense, any Castlefordonians, if you're in here, but yeah, that's how I feel living so close to Cass. Like, I'm still only 20 minutes in the car, and I'm pretty much at Elland Road. But I'm used to living, 15-minute walk from Elland Road. Living in LS12. It's not too just down Ring Road, and I'm there. Don't like being this far away from Elland Road, even though he's only like 20 minutes in the car. Brendan, yeah, to be fair, getting Brendan on score sheet would be massive tomorrow, wouldn't it? That'd be really good if he can get himself on score sheet. To be fair, he's been close with some assists, hasn't he? He hasn't been far off with his assists. Richard, I just think this team will work hard and give 110%. And if it's wet and windy, we still have bottle. Yeah, I actually think the conditions tomorrow might play into our favour. I suppose maybe that's a little bit of a lazy sort of thing to say, based on the fact that, they've got a lot more technically gifted players. I think they've got a couple of red cards in their team, I won't lie. I look at Romero at back. I look at Richarlison up top. And I think if it's that miserable, horrible, wind, rain smashing about in your face and Leeds and the cauldron of Elland Road, honestly, I can see a red card for Tottenham tomorrow. I really can. If we can stifle them and frustrate them, maybe get an early goal. That's why I don't think 3-1's out of question. I think they'll have an opportunity to score, and you'd assume with the quality they'll probably put one away. Maybe. I aren't predicting a clean sheet tomorrow, but I'm predicting a couple of goals at least. But yeah, honestly, I really fancy a red card for Spurs tomorrow. I don't know if that's just proper ludicrous to think, but there's definitely a couple of players in their side I could see losing the cool, especially we're not winning last two as well. That pressure just starts to mount up. With the early kickoff tomorrow, the early goal would help the crowd. Yeah, it will, because we all know at Elland Road, when it's bouncing, it's bouncing, but when it's quiet, it's quite. It says a lot, and it's quite a nervy place at times. And the half-12 kickoffs, Richard, what I've experienced a lot are no one's had enough pints. I don't think in pub. You're not too late into the day. Everyone's sort of still coming round from waking up, and it's not as bouncing as it is for obviously a 3 o'clock or a an 8 o'clock kickoff, under lights. So half-12s are usually atmosphere-wise pretty shit. But I think that's everywhere. Obviously, that's not just Leeds. It's everywhere. We're probably better than most, even at half-12. But yeah, I think an early goal will just spring us all into life and give us something to hang on for. But I do hope that we bring it as a crowd tomorrow, because, like I say, it's not a free hit, no, but it's not a game we're expecting to win. We can win, but I don't think many people are expecting us to win. It's not a game that I don't think we'll be favourites for it. I don't think it'll be massively in their favour. I don't know the odds. Maybe a draw's probably tipped more than I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Brendan Harrison's shots usually come down with Snowley. Yeah, I think it's his technique as well. I think with Brendan Harrison, I watch him warming up and that, taking shots at Melier and stuff. And if he hits target, it's usually out middle. It's usually quite weak. He blazes a lot of a bar. He ain't got the power for a 10, a winger, an 8, whatever his actual position is. I don't think shooting's his forte. We know that. I don't think passing's his forte. I like he's been a bit more forward thinking last few weeks, and I've actually given him a lot of praise recently because I've really enjoyed watching him play. Albeit I wish he wasn't his only option there. Obviously, I think having a Dan James especially if games coming up, West Ham and Burnley, having him in team would it's a totally sort of unique player in his own right with pace he's got, and it's a massive loss not having him involved in the next 4 or 6 weeks. But Brendan Harrison's doing best he can. He isn't asking to sort of be put in there when he's under pressure. He's just doing what he does best, and his attributes are what they are, and he gets put in there. And he's actually, I think, I'd honestly say he's performing better this season on the right wing than he did in the 10 last season. What do we think? Because I honestly not a massive fan of Brendan Harrison. I think he's doing better this season. But I know the expectations have risen, and we're not expecting to do as well. And I'm watching him play, and I'm actually enjoying the last two. I've enjoyed his performance, and that sounds crazy to me because I don't usually enjoy Brendan Harrison. I can just say he's done all right. But yeah, I don't want to blow too much smoke up his ass because he hasn't done world beating stuff. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I've got to give him some praise when I do diss him when I'm happy with him. So yeah, he's done all right recently. Long may it continue. He's not my kind of winger, but he's been effective. The effort and commitment and competitiveness we've shown this season has been very impressive. Yeah, and we knew the competitive edge was always going to be there just based off the signings. You can't have a Shaw Longstaff playing for you and not expect to see that competitive edge. Stack will learn pretty quickly. Having Ampadu in there, that midfield is the heartbeat of most sides. And we've nailed our midfield recruitment. Nailed it. It's the one... Not the one particular, the one area of the pitch where you look at and go, not only have we strengthened that, we've absolutely smashed that area out apart for me for a newly promoted side who apparently lacks quality in certain areas. It's not that fucking area. We've nailed it in the midfield. Yeah, we're lacking in other areas, but the midfield's such an important part of any side that because that's, I think, has been improved to such a level, it's always going to help, the balance of the rest of the side, and any components that are slightly missing. If that midfield's elevated itself to such a level, maybe that can compensate for certain areas as well, not being quite at it. And like up top, say, if we weren't scoring enough goals, which we are now, but if we weren't scoring enough goals, the fact that we aren't leaking much either, that's a massive plus, and that heart of that midfield is a main reason why. So yeah, the competitive side, the commitment, the team spirit, the vibe in the city again. Like it's been hard not to, like after Bielsa, you love the players, love the manager, then you go through that horrible, turgid couple of years under Marsh and other managers, and you fall out of love with club a little bit, you lose your identity, you fall out with owners, it feels a bit shitty, and then Daniel Farke's come back in, put a bit of a few band-aids on and sort of brought us back to somewhat like where we're all proud, boys again in the city. He's vibing again. We saw that on promotion day and the parade and stuff like that. Unbelievable scenes. And I feel like we've got into a season probably not expecting too much based on, the transfer dealings as well. But actually we're probably slightly overperforming, but not to an unachievable level for it to continue, if you get what I mean. I look at it and think, yeah, we're probably slightly overperforming to what people thought. And even Daniel Farke said at times, with certain lacks of quality in certain areas. But I think we're going about it really nice. And the players we brought in, bringing that sort of defensive steel, defending first. Can it be boring? Hoofball, can it be boring? We've got a really good balance, really, really good balance of, defensive capabilities. It took a few weeks, but now all of a sudden there's that balance with the attack, going long at times, but still playing really attractive football in between, going long when you need to, not always, playing short when you need to, not always. Honestly, I can't speak highly enough of how I feel as a Leeds fan right now. And you've only got to go back 2 weeks after Fulham, and I'm saying, well, if we lose to Wolves, and then we've got Spurs and Bournemouth and Spurs. All of a sudden, your Farke could be out of a job if it goes Pete Tong, and I stand by that. It could have been, if we lose to Wolves, we go 1-0 down at Wolves. It's looking quite bleak at that point. Fast forward a few weeks, we're in dreamland again, and we, a spectacular win tomorrow, and it's just you can forget about what's happening lower down table. For me, keep doing what we're doing, and we'll be fine. Eventually, whether it's if we get a result tomorrow, then you do well at Burnley and home or West Ham, that gap could be a decent gap, for so early in season. And it just breeds confidence. And like I say, I think when Leeds are playing well, when the fans are on side, when the city's vibing like it can do, and I think it sort of is at the minute, it's a bit of an unstoppable force for me. It's a bit of an unstoppable force. And I love that. Because let's be fair, when Leeds are doing well, we're all happy, aren't we? When Leeds are doing shit, then it's gutting. Hope you're doing good, mate. Buzzing for tomorrow. Me too, buddy. Me too. I just hope you can get here with trains and stuff. I hope everything's all right. Crowd has to be up for it. Yeah, I hope so. But 12:30 kickoffs, mate. It'll be a little bit subdued to start with. Hopefully the boys give us enough to get up for, don't they? Let's hope so. I think they will. If we get a pen, who takes it? Good question. Great question. Well, based on who's on the pitch, who would normally take the penalty if who's on the pitch? Pirro's not on there. Strauch, for me, bottled the one what Metcher took. If we get a penalty and Metcher's not on the pitch, which I assume he isn't, Robbie, for me, I think a lot of people mess around with penalties, and for me, a striker's your best bet on a penalty. But then you throw that in with Calvert-Lewin. You think, last penalty we saw Calvert-Lewin take away at Sheffield Wednesday, blazed over bar. But I'd give it Calvert-Lewin. He takes a penalty, scores it. It bins the one he's missed off previously, because that's always waiting there till you score your next. And it looks like he's got his mojo back anyway. He's in the swag. But also you've got Stack, who obviously we know can hit a ball true. We've got Longstaff, who maybe can, put it down. And I could just imagine Longstaff blazing it, into roof and net, to be fair. But yeah, it's a tough, like you say, when you look at it, who's actually designated penalty taker there? Pirro, Strauch. Pirro's not on. Strauch, I don't think fancies him anymore. Yeah, interesting question. I'd give it Calvert-Lewin, but I'm a bit of a mad twat anyway, as you probably know. Everyone else probably say no chance. Give it Darlow, he won't miss, and if he does, he's quick enough to get back anyway. I don't, mate, and I don't care, because they'll be shy anyway. Now, it's don't overcomplicate things. Leeds just need to go at them hard and fair. Yeah, I just don't want us to show too much respect to him. I feel like we did with Bournemouth that first 20 minutes, showed him a little bit too much respect. And it took us a little while to get into game, although not too long. But yeah, just go play his game. I want us to put Flanders on Elland Road. They need to earn the right to play at our patch. So make them work hard for it. You're right, mate. I said we must employ the dark arts. They will get 2 sent off and win. Yeah, honestly, I think there'll be a VAR, possible red card check tomorrow. I could just see it. Should be a good battle between Richarlison and Rodon. Should be a good battle, that, Richarlison on his day can bang an hat-trick in and look like a world beater. When it's not his day, he can look like a League One player, in my opinion. Spurs won't fancy early kick-off against newly promoted pumped-up Leeds in a storm. Yeah, that's it. Away at Leeds, in a storm. You've played 3 or 4 days ago, which didn't end it well, but the moan about it. I mean, come on. For 100 grand a week, I'd play 3 times a day, man. I wouldn't be able to do it, but I would, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not the place you want to go when there's a storm, is there? Hopefully we can add to the storm. Got to make it scruffy to watch. Yeah, I mean, I do think it favours us, I really do. I really do. And Brendan Harrison has stepped up, but still probably the weakest. Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's the weakest starter, I would suggest, and he's probably the only position, Paul, that's probably still up for grabs. I look everywhere else, and you've got the conversation, obviously, a Longstaff and Tanaka. Can Tanaka be a bench player all season? Yeah, I think he will be now, There'll be injuries, as we know, but as a starter, I think that 11 is set now. I think Strauch's favoured over Beal, and I think that'll continue until there's an injury. Hopefully there isn't, touch wood. But I look at Brendan Adams, he's the only player playing who you think, when everybody's fit, he won't start. But will he? Because if he carries on, but will he? Will it on to? But if he carries on the way he is, Farker does like him. But yeah, that is definitely the one position what isn't safe. I think everybody else is probably safe. If they continue the levels, obviously. If they drop, then fair enough. Yeah, 150%. Farker likes the mix that he gives you. I've got to say, not my cup of tea. Yeah, that's it. It's not my cup of tea. Honestly, you know me, Ramazani. I want to see my wingers do step overs. That's why I think Okafor will grow on me. I'm liking what I've seen from the last few games. I think Okafor is the X factor. I think every side needs 1 or 2 players like that. And I would much rather lose a game trying to go for it and seeing my players attack and show a bit of flamboyance and flair than, be defensive and be quite negative and lose game 1-0 like that. Which can happen, which is how I felt at Fulham. We eased off. We played okay, like we do. We pass it around. We keep ball well in spells. But I never felt at Fulham. I knew we had chances, because obviously you do, but I never felt at Fulham that we went to win that game. Never one moment when I thought, we try to win this. I've seen that in the 2 games since. But yeah, Aronson's doing really well. But I would just pick a more flamboyant winger. I'd rather have 2 Okafors than an Okafor and an Aronson. And some people would rather just have maybe one-sided player who's going to do that while the other guy tracks back. But I do think you can have 2 Okafors, you can have a Ramazani, you can have a Solomon, and you just get into them. The instruction is, go do what you got to do, go express yourself. But I tell you what, you lose that ball, you get your ass back. And if not, you won't play next week. And that's got to come from manager. I think you can have flamboyant, exciting players who do the hard yards, because you tell them they've got to do it. Brendan's improving. We already know his limitations, but yeah, he is. He's doing way better now than I think he did last season. I think he's better out wide for the simple fact that he ain't getting crowded out. Big centre halves, midfielders. He's usually isolated 1-on-1 with a left back. Like, who don't want to be isolated 1-on-1 with a left back? Apart from me, because what am I going to do? Knock it round him and walk to ball? Like, fuck me. But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be so much nicer for him to be facing a 5'10" left back than it is 2 centre halves and whatever midfielders, chasing him back as well. So I think it's just naturally easier for him out there. Darlow's doing well. Are they feeding him cat food? Yeah, cat-like reflexes. Yeah, really is. Hey up, Bill. Evening, Matty. The midfield is the reason for the start. Longstaff has been immense. Yeah, Longstaff. He's doing what I expected him to do in terms of the profile of the player. Exactly what I'd expect Longstaff to do he's doing. But he's doing it better than I thought he could and would. Or quicker than I thought he would. I didn't think Longstaff would be a starter. And I know he's only got in there because of an injury. But that's how this works. Strauch's only playing now because of his suspension against Everton for Beal. Because if anyone thinks Beal would have started against Everton, if he didn't have that suspension, you're mad. He would have started. He was starting the pre-season games until we sort of got it nailed on that he were going to be missing for that Everton game. But yeah, Longstaff's probably just doing it quicker than I thought. I did not think he'd be a starter by now, and I didn't think he'd be putting in. I'd probably say he's up there as man at match for the last couple of games in a row. Him and Goodmanson, I think the last 2 games have been my standouts. 10 new players for 103 million. It could have been, well, yeah, it could. A lot of, there's a lot of stick out there for, 100 million over 10 players, £10 million a player. That's a low quality of player. I understand why people think that. Daniel Farker said that, whether it's to get a reaction or whether it's a message to the board or to, play down temper expectations, whichever reason, we've signed players more than 10 million on worked out. So I understand that why some people thought it was a poor window. But I think you're seeing now at least 50% of the signings, which I think 5 are starters at the minute, at least 50% of those signings look like really good signings, don't they? And the other 5 need to be there for squad places, even if they're not going to be a mainstay as a starter. You need a squad. But, DCL on a free, great bit of business. Metcha on a free, great bit of business. Longstaff, 12 million. Fucking scandalous business. Goodmanson, scandalous business. He's really, really good. Stack, yeah, love the guy. Hey up, Philip Anderson. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you've had a good week, buddy. Hope you're looking forward to tomorrow. Bill, thanks, mate. Bill's gifted an Imagine Not Being Leeds membership. You're a star, Bill. Thanks so much, mate. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I hope you've got back into swing of work after being in Philippines for a few weeks. Philip Anderson, just join us. Smash the like for you, brother. Cheers, bro. Thanks, mate. Get your comments in, but I know you already have. I can see them popping up. 3-1 Leeds. Go on. By the Arsenal game, we've been tight defensively and 5 goals in the last 2 games scored. Things getting better week in, week out. Farker keeps us up. He could get the Germany job. Lol. Wow, you reckon? Sounds a bit far-fetched with Germany job, but you never know. You never know. 3-1. Yeah, Philip, I'm going that now, mate. I've gone from 2-1 to 3-1. I get like this at times. When I get giddy, I get Philip. When I get giddy, I get way giddy, don't I? And when I get down, I get quite down. Mad, innit? Yeah, I get quite giddy, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna win league, and then it goes the other way when we lose a game or draw a game, and I'm like, fucking hell. Yeah, Gabby to get his first and Brendan Anderson. Oh, that'd be class. I'd love that. I'd love that. Say if Brendan can get one, it'd be brilliant. But Gabby Goodmanson for me is yeah, he is. Honestly, I'm falling in love with the guy. I absolutely love Gabby Goodmanson. I mean, the way his movement, the way he drives with ball, he can see a little gap between two, and he just goes through it. He's very, very brave footballer. And then the goal, what sort of come from his hard work for Longstaff against Bournemouth, that were class. That were class. Because not only is he a silky operator who can pass well with high percentages, is brave enough to run with ball through the lines, he's also prepared to do the dirty, tough stuff, laid on floor, getting lumps kicked out of him, and still comes out with ball. And yeah, I love the guy. Honestly, you know what I'm like? I'm a massive Byram lover. The poor lad's not going to get a sniff, is he? I think I've fallen in love now with Gabby Goodmanson, and I ain't even bothered. Not bothered. I'm very comfortable in my Gabby Goodmanson love triangle that's obviously going on between me and our lass that he didn't even know about yet. But the way it's going, our lass will be fuming, and she'll know about it. She will. I can't hide it. DCL. Yep, DCL. Metchard, if he's on the pitch, agreed it should be the 9 or the main striker who is first choice usually, yeah. Is Brendan keeping the ball better than he was last season? From what I saw, your vlog, it looked like he was last Saturday. Yeah, I feel so. I feel like he is. I mean, without looking at the stats, I don't know, Richard, but the eye test, the fucking good old eye test is telling me that he's keeping hold of the ball way better. The amount of games I go to where he loses the ball, and honestly, the fans do not forget, do not let up. And I have not heard many bad shout outs, people calling him out in stadium. I've not heard any this season. I've heard quite a few for Okafor at Wolves, that were bad. Losing ball quite a bit. I don't know if Brendan Aronson, because he's playing upright, because we've got injuries, because we're doing quite well, I don't know if people are giving him a bit more leeway, And that's taking away from him playing well, because honestly, I think he's playing really well. But I don't know, I think he's getting a little bit more leeway than he did in Championship. The pressure's off a little bit more. It's mad because you need to stay up, you need to get as many points as you can, but obviously you don't have to win every week. Like, the fact is, we don't have to win every week. And if we're down near the bottom end and we lose, there's a high possibility the 3 or 4 teams in and around us or below us, they lose too. There's a high possibility. But in the Championship, we had to win every week. We had to try and win every week and get as close to, we had to get 100 points to win the league on goal difference. Like, it's mental. That was just to win the league. 100 points were needed to win, to lift the trophy. we almost didn't have it until dying minutes. So I think it was heightened so much more in Championship, even though it's easier in the Championship than it is in Premier League. You don't have to win every week. So I just feel like, yeah, there's maybe not as much pressure on him. It's kind of like a lot of fans like, well, he's there. We've got to get behind him. What else can we do? And I kind of feel that's better than what last. And I think he has improved. I think not improved, but I think his levels are better now than they were last season, in my opinion. I'd play for Leeds. I'd play for Leeds. Yeah, just every minute of the day, mate. I just love it. All there is think about Leeds. I do Leeds if I had no fucking legs, mate. I'd do my best. It'd be shit. But I can score 3-yard screamers, as you all know. It's not on the bench. No, Richard is not, mate. He's not available, Paul. I think so, Bill. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, full-time training them. Hey up, Kershaw. How you doing, fella? You all right? I don't think he will change the team. The last 3 performances have been excellent. Yeah, they have, mate. You're throwing Fulham in there too. Fulham are a little bit gutted with the manner, not of the loss, but the manner of the performance in terms of I wanted a bit more attack. Felt like we were happy to go there and get a point, and we missed out on that one. But yeah, what a good performance away from home. And the last 2 for me have been excellent. Like, I'm buzzing with how we're looking at the minute, mate. There's no 2 ways about it, Kershaw. We do not look like a relegation threat inside. We don't. Sunderland don't. Burnley probably are going to be in the mix. Probably will go down, in my opinion, because I can't think of 3 worse. I think of 2 in and around it. But the newly promoted teams are doing some bits this season, aren't they? How far back do you go as a Leeds fan, Maya? I'm 41, and I remember going back to about 92, 93. So I'm 38. So I was born in 87. And I remember my proper memories, seem quite old, my proper memories of the O'Leary days. But I remember the Yeboahs, but I weren't massively, because my stepdad's rugby, my mum's rugby, my real dad, he's a Geordie, he's from Newcastle, my real dad, but he don't like football, which is weird for a Geordie. So I didn't really have a football influence, although I love football and I followed Leeds. I got massively hooked on it when I hit high school. Around those O'Leary 2000 onwards. So the 90s, I was aware. I think I went to a couple of games through school and stuff with tickets, but yeah, the O'Leary days, when I was like 12, 13 is when it proper hit home. But I remember watching Yeboah and stuff on TV and that sort of era. But it sort of passed me by a little bit. It's the Prem. We need a much bigger squad. Play early. He is, Philip. There's no 2 ways about it. He's unreal. He's that kind of player as well, Philip. I actually don't expect to drop off. I just expect him to be there every week, which may be a bit too much of a high expectation. But I think he's capable. I think to be a good Premier League player, which he is, I think consistency is the key. And I think he's been consistent at at Newcastle, and which is why he's had such a long, decent career at a decent side like Newcastle. The problem there is the quality that have come in are better than Longstaff, and he's had to move on. But I don't feel like he's an inconsistent player, a streaky player. Teams have these players. We've got these players, Hot and Cold Harrison, there's certain players who have streaky, patchy form. Longstaff is just, I say, 7 out of 10 every week. He's actually outperforming that, isn't he? He's been fucking near an 8.5, 9. Can he maintain that? I actually think he can. Anybody heard about this Foster fella? Heard he can play on the right too. He has a bit of pace once his hamstring. My calf. It's my calf. But yeah, honestly, I think I'm knackered now. I played football, 2.5 weeks ago on a Monday night. I played, helped me out, done some 5-a-side. My right knee's not been right since, honestly. Turned into walking football after 20 minutes. It was interesting to hear Stacks say he's learning from Longstaff in training. He's a great person to learn off, though, isn't he? He's mad, man. He's like, you think he's some bloody veteran where we talk about him. He's 28, he's Longstaff. Still got a fair few years to go, but he should be doing, Stacks probably a technically better player. Technically, I would suggest. But everything that Stack has the possibility to be, I think Longstaff's got, the engine, that drive. I think Longstaff gets about better than Stack. I think he's better defensively as well. I think he's got more of an engine on him than Stack. But I think all the physicality and attributes that Longstaff's got, I think Stack has, and has the ability to go beyond. I mean, Stack at times I've said Stack's got potential to be anything he wants, and end up being a world-class player potentially. But Longstaff's a great player to play with. He's one of those players, is Longstaff, anywhere full well if you're in trenches and you look to your right and you've got Longstaff next to you, you're feeling happier and better that you're in there with Longstaff, and then behind you outside you've got Ampadu. It must be really good for someone like Stack, who is a bit more of a ball player, I would suggest. Although Longstaff showing that too, I think Stack's a bit more of a ball player than the other two. It must be great to look at Sadie and see Ampadu and Longstaff, because you just know they've got your back. You just know, he's such a tough midfield that for anyone coming to Elland Road. DC and Longstaff are showing their Premier League experience, and as you say, GG has maybe been our best. Yeah, I think so. I think Stack started like an house on fire. Everton, like, whoa, who's this guy? But I think Goodmanson, obviously the Fulham, but that don't even knock him down for me, the Fulham incident. It don't. I think Goodmanson's been the most consistent player. I think Goodmanson and Bogle are probably my two favourite players for Leeds United. I think they're so good. I can't think of a newly promoted side that's had players that good at fullback, both sides, for so cheap. What, Goodmanson, 10 million quid? What do we pay for Bogle? 5? Fucking hell. Imagine how much we get sold at the end of the season. It's a madness. I have got to lift my hat to try that from the 49ers. Good competition within the team works wonders, as well as good depth. Yeah, it does. I agree with that. Always agree with that, mate. LAFC Passions become a member again. Hey, Callum. Again, you didn't have to do that. You know that. You're a massive part of my life anyway, pal. But I appreciate that, mate. It's lovely to see. Yeah, things must be going all right for you as well, which is good to see, mate. A bit gutted I won't see you tomorrow, even though you're going to game. Obviously, I'm in the posh seats because of Mr. AG. But yeah, if I do see you, great. But if I don't, I'm a bit gutted about that, to be fair. But I'm glad you're getting to go to a game. You don't get too many these days, so I'm buzzing for you. Thanks for that, Callum, mate. You're a star. Thank you. Richard Hogan, I'm happy that we built from the back during the summer. It's keeping us in games and helping us pick up points. If we stay up, then we can build. Yeah, and I agree with that. Can you imagine staying up this season, being able to keep everybody and sell the fringe players who maybe didn't get much minutes this season? Can't really say who they are because we don't know who will become end of season. But can you imagine this side, if we have some money available at the end of the season to still build on? This is how you become an established side. You stay up with a solid side, not finishing 9th with a side that really overperformed because the manager was so good. Stayed up because you've got a side capable of staying up and solid foundation. The foundation's a word there. It's such a great foundation this to build on. And then all of a sudden, you do get that 10. You do get that right winger. You do get that other striker that we really wanted, midway through window. And all of a sudden, you look at that and go, wow, this side's real. And then that's only 2 years into your Premier League status. And you're already there, aren't you? You have another good season, building it again. And you're not looking over your shoulder like we were last time, I mean, staying up a couple of seasons and bringing in a Firpo or bringing in a Dan James and looking at your side thinking, is it good enough? Farker's a lot to prove before he gets it, but keeps Leeds up. What happened the last 2 seasons with the relegated teams, it certainly has football CV. Yeah, I agree. In terms of it elevates as well. The job is done if we stay up based on the fact it becomes... keeping Leeds up, keeping Sunderland up, it's probably not a huge, massive story. It happens historically. It happens. Big clubs can stay up, especially clubs that have done well at Championship. They can bounce up and do well. Only a few years ago, Sheffield United finishing 9th. Leeds did it not long ago. It can happen, but because of the last 2 seasons and the whole rhetoric around it is we're going down. We're going down. We cannot. It just cannot happen at all. It's inconceivable to imagine a newly appointed team can say, it's ridiculous. Fucking 24 months of it happening, all of a sudden no one can ever do it. So it probably makes a story even bigger than really. You look at Leeds' side, you look at how we're coached, really well coached. You look at us form in the last 2 years, 190 points, not lost at home in a year. Is it a ridiculous statement to say Leeds will stay up? Is it fuck? I love Bogle. I thought I said I love bagels, and I'm like, we on that one, Philip. I love bagels too, mate. No matter what's on them, as long as it's not green. Love a good bagel. I don't like the green bagels, or what they call it, the sage and onion or something. I really like them, but chive and onion in the green packets. Fucking beautiful, them. Love them. Don't just have one though. That's my problem. Gluttony is a disease. Send help. I still think we need a 10 wins and 10 draws. Will keep us up this season. Really feel after our start, though, we could get 11 on. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. I don't think we're just on for 10 wins, pal. I get that's the aim, but yeah, we'll get more than that. Anything, if you're thinking bare minimum, we'll surpass that for me. No, I aren't saying ridiculously, so I don't think we're going to finish. I aren't going to say we're going to finish 9th, 10th, 11th, but I don't think there's any reason why we can't be aiming, 14th, 13th, which is what I said right at the start, right at the end of last season. I thought 12th, 13th viable, and then I've had a moment when I've been, fucking hell, 16th, 17th, it's going to be a struggle. I don't think I've ever said we'll go down, but I've said like it could come down to the last few games and all that. I don't think it does now. I think with a month spare, we'll be up. It's going to be tighter though, very tight. We need to win home games. Anything away is a bonus. Yeah. And we on that. And we'll get so many points at home, pal. So many points at home. Steady start of the season, positives to be had. But to do some tough fixtures on the horizon. Next handful of games important to create a buffer on the bottom. Yeah, I agree. It's like Sunderland, isn't it? That's such an easy start in terms of fixtures, easier start in terms of fixtures, and they've got the points on board early. After tomorrow, we've got 2 games where we can get 6 points. 4 points is great. 6 points is brilliant. Less than 4 points is a bit of a negative because it means we'll, not done well. I don't think if we don't win at least one of them games. So yeah, I think maximum points in next 2 after this one is maybe a must actually, which is definitely possible though. When will the fans that didn't back Daniel Farke be able to say Daniel Farke is Prem quality and a really good one? I think it'll take some people, Philip. It'll take till the end of the season. I think what he's got now, though, if we got relegated, he has an excuse to a degree. Didn't get backed. I wanted this, and this. But I tell you what, Philip, flip it. If he keeps us up, when he keeps us up, he looks even better, doesn't he? And you can't not back him because we can all look at the side and be buzzing, and I'm buzzing with how it looks, and I think it's way better than a lot of people think. I think Calvert-Lewin's way better. I think in 12 months he missed in England. I think Bogle could play for England. But I'm mental when I'm this happy. I'm an absolute lunatic. But the fact that we're all quite honest fans out when we all can look and identify Aronson starting on right currently shows we are lacking some depth, right? Farke keeps us up and keeps up well, Philip, then you're a dickhead. If you don't, Prem quality manager, really good. That's the spectrum. That's up to whatever you interpret as good, and how quality is. I don't know, but if you still look at that as unsuccessful or as a poor manager, when really he hasn't been given all the tools, he's been given enough tools to stay up. I'll say that he's been given a better team than he has suggested he's got. But if he keeps us up, mate, against all the odds, with a side that has holes in it, how can you say he isn't? The quality of the manager at this level, it's hard to gauge how good he is, as in terms of how long will he stay at Leeds. Is he a Champions League manager? I would say no, Philip. Is he a challenging for Conference League manager? I would probably still say no. Is he 10th to 13th? Sort of, can he get you there and establish you middle at league? Maybe, yeah. I would say that's his level. Hopefully I'm wrong and he can be the person that pushes in that next bracket. But 100%, mate, you've heard me say I'm not too sure. He pisses me off. At the minute, I aren't going to say throw any shade because the last 2-3 weeks I've been really happy. But yeah, there'll be some people feel that you won't get it off, mate, and you'll just have to like it or lump it. I know it proper boils your piss, doesn't it, when people come out with some shit, and I see some shit, especially in the press conference chat. There's some absolute tools, mate. Me, I've always got a balanced opinion, and we've clashed at times. But yeah, you've got to give people if you're going to kick them when they're down and say, you've got to be big enough to hold your hands up and go, well, I'm enjoying it at a minute, he's doing well. And if we stay up, mate, you've got to give him his flowers. You've got to. Yeah, the 90s are slightly sketchy from a memory point of view. Loved our Champions League semi-final. Yeah, that season was like, it would hard not to fall in love with every player. Does anyone remember Fish Peter Haddock and the crazy winning days? I don't, mate. Our Welshman with the tats will keep Richarlison quiet, and I think Amps may leave. Yeah, I hope so. Philip, I love DF and getting us back in the Prem. I will never forget that. So that's why I always, that's fine. I mean, it's all right always backing him. You always back him though, don't you, until you don't, which sounds really basic, but you back him until you don't. And I aren't sure how long it'd take. I mean, if we lost 5 on bounce, Philip, you'd still back him. If we lost 3 on the bounce, I'd start to turn, because the results I'm seeing there and then, and depending how it goes, it can turn pretty quickly. But I'm big enough to say I'm enjoying football at the minute, and he's a massive part of that. massive part of that, his manager. But yeah, I do think we could lose 10 games 5-0, and you probably would still be struggling with that. But it's hard to say out bad at the minute, mate. Although some people still manage it, they still manage it. 95, 96 onwards were clear memories for me. First game was against Southampton in April. 96 1-0 victory. Brian Dean scoring the winning same night as Liverpool for Newcastle 3. Class. Good memories for you, that Danny boy. Good memories. Love Dino. First name on the back of my Leeds shirt, class. Night, Maya. Hope you're well. I'm in posh seat in Bremner Street. Oh, go on, Leeds lad. Hope you're well, mate. Don't know if I can see you. Is that near Eddie Gray Suite? Will we cross paths? Will we not? Hope you have a good day, mate. All good, thanks, Matty pal. Doc's just been in, had to pause. No worries, Justin. Yeah, I'm glad you're all right, buddy. Glad you're all right, mate. Matty is sneaking me in tomorrow. Oh, man. What a bit of miss you. You'll come in with your outlandish gifts like you always do. In person rather than online. I'm like, hey, there's Christopher Spofford Chapel. Class. I would if I could, mate. I would if I could. You know that. Bogler's consistently produced the goods. I'm a little perplexed. Wilder didn't rate. I think he did rate him, Andy. I think he did rate him. I think Sheffield United fans didn't rate him as a defender. I'm pretty sure Wilder rated him and were very, very pissed off. He left for us. 92, 93 Charity Shield is where it all began for me. Class. Bogle will play for England. I love that bill. I think so. Yeah, please hit the likes. 57 watching, which is great. Thanks so much. 48 likes, which isn't bad. But if you're one of the 57 that hasn't liked it, please like it. 11 o'clock on a Friday. We're all here going through it together. Would much appreciate the likes. As you all probably know, the views and the subscribers, everything's gone downhill for last month. It's been mental. So yeah, any likes, I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member too. You can join WhatsApp group if you like, which is a really good group. Yeah. Imagine Not Being Leeds Christmas do coming up at end of November. Yeah, about 7 weeks. Class that, innit? Good old Sean Healy's flying over from Ireland. Get up. Love it. Danny Green, your boy was my favourite player at the time, a retro gamer. Looked up to Thomas Brolin at the time, but watched a lot of Gazzetta. The 90s for me, I probably watched more Italian football, Danny, than I did Leeds United. I absolutely, has there ever been a better decade of football than the Gazzetta Italian 90s? Every Sunday or every Saturday morning, go Lazio. Honestly, the level of player in that division was unbelievable. Talk about Premier League being the best, division in the world. It's far superior to anything now. But Italy in the 90s was fucking ridiculous. The players that played there then and the goals, I mean, fucking hell. Every game there were 4 overhead kicks in it. It was unbelievable. As a young kid watching football, Italian football probably made me fall in love with it. To be honest, because I came from a rugby league background. Everybody I know in my family's rugby league. Evening, Rich. Hope you're well, mate. I think Daniel Farker and the medical team will do amazing things, and Daniel Farker's record of injured players he can work. Yeah, I agree with that. He's so far everybody who's been fragile injury-wise, Philip. Byron being a massive one, Solomon last season. We've managed them really well, and that just isn't down to the medical staff. That is down to Farker managing minutes as well. They've nailed it with them, and if we can get through another season with the amount of players who are fragile in that sense, then you've got to put it down to the way we're working. Because you could look at it and go, oh, maybe we just got lucky with Byron. Say what we want. Byron played. There were a couple of periods in the last 2 years where he's had to play Tuesday, and he got through them. Is that a fluke, or is that the way he's managed in training, not overdoing it, the way the recovery works? Yeah, I've been really happy with how we've handled a lot of these situations. Hopefully, it can happen much more this season. Our start wasn't easy. Look where those clubs finished last season. SJ will agree to disagree. You had the 4th easiest fixture list for the opening 6 games on Opta, on the Opta index of difficulty. We had the 3rd hardest. You had the 4th easiest, SJ. You had the easiest out of all the newly promoted sides. But it doesn't matter. We're arguing over spilled milk here. You literally have smashed it. You've smashed the window. You've got loads of points in the games you should have got points out. There's only been Burnley that let you down. So you had the 4th easiest in the division, and that's fact. But you smashed it. So there's no to really go over there. It's just a fact, and you've done well. Think your Bower could easily have had a top 10 goal of the season all by, yeah, mate, fucking hell. Didn't score out over the world, did he? Good old Tony Bower. Good old Anthony. What a guy. What a guy. Just didn't have him for long enough, did we? Just didn't have him for long enough. I was led to believe DCL wins the duels, aerial balls, etc. But according to Joe Blackburn's stats, they aren't impressive. I don't know who. Again, I don't massively look at stats, right? But I'll tell you what, I'm gobsmacked if DCL's duels in the end, aerial, duels and his aerial challenges at Leeds United, I can't profess to know every stat about him at Everton. But if that's right in the last 3 or 4 games, I'll be gobsmacked. Because I would say I don't think I've seen him lose a ball in air. Again, am I overdoing it? I would be gobsmacked if his stats are poor. Genuinely can't remember the last time he lost an header. The eye test tells me again, like I say, every time ball goes up in air, he tends to get that first touch, and usually it falls to one of our players. I've been dead happy with how he's playing. Farke cost us 3 points so far. Farke cost us 3 points. Is that the 2 at Bournemouth and the 1 at Fulham? The 1 at Fulham, I felt like we didn't give it enough, but it's hard because it's just a free cone goal to blame Farke. But I do feel like we could have got a goal in that game, been a bit more less pragmatic and a bit more overthink, just sort of going for it, throw caution to wind. The 2 against Bournemouth, which I'm assuming you're alluding to, Justin. I can't really go along with that myself, but I understand subs and all that would probably be a point. But I think Strauss just got to be more dominant when that ball comes in and win that first header. And obviously, Ampadu's caught napping at back post. It's just one of them things. We play bloody brilliant, and it's hard to blame anyone for me. But yeah, do you sub when there's a free kick? Maybe not. He ain't perfect, but yeah. Three late Bournemouth goals helps them beat Fulham 3-1. Yeah, I'd say the same. I'd say the players on the pitch had to take responsibility for that. They were, yeah, it brings Tanaka on. Tanaka gives a free kick. It's not really even in a silly area. You're giving him opportunity to pump it into box, but it's still far enough out, and there's enough, to happen before that ball is back in net. Leeds 3, Spurs 1. Just cannot see anything else. Your fault, Matty. Yeah, man. It must be good to watch me when I'm in a good mood. It must be, because I understand when I'm a little bit negative. It's been a bit of an hard watch at times. And honestly, 1-0 down at Wolves, I was absolutely shitting myself for that next week of content before next game. I was like, oh my, I would already every stream were like, oh, negative Matty. I was like, oh my God, if we lose today, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to just not do no till next game, until we play Bournemouth, and luckily we turned it around. And yeah, I've just been in such a good place since. Yeah, it was, Bill. It was. It's facts, isn't it? It's facts. Kirsch, I'm doing well, pal. Hope you're okay. If this wind keeps up, we'll be flying to Elland Road in the morning. We'll be in the Peacock. Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. I'm buzzing to be doing hospitality at Eddie Gray Suite, but I'm a creature of habit. I like what I like. And yeah, I like going to Peacock and mixing it with Focus in there. So I'm a little bit gutted out doing that, but I'm really looking forward to, usually I go sit on my own as well. And be sat with, my mate Sean, Wilco Whites, obviously Adam and Priestley, a great free to sit with. 4 of us are really good mates. It's going to be great to have that sort of experience with them rather than being sat on my Todd. Do you live in Leeds? Technically, no. It's a Wakefield postcode. I moved here 5 years ago because my partner, she was born in Bramley as well, or lived in Bramley. I'm a Farnley lad, so not too far away, but she lived most of her life over in Micklefield, which is near Cass, near Garforth. So I moved over here to be closer to her sister. When we had twins, obviously we had twins 6 years ago. Moved over here for a bit more support with the boys. Then the sister-in-law decided to become a fucking midwife, and all babysitting duties went out window. So yeah, that screwed us up. That were annoying. Well done on going to, better yourself while I've got no one to watch my kids. Selfish bastard. I've said this to her though, she knows. It's good banter. But yeah, so I live, it's technically Cass. I live in Allerton Bywater. It's a WF postcode, and it's on the border of Castleford. But it's a nice area, to be fair. Lovely little nature reserve down from me. St Aidan's, nice lines to walk down. It's a lovely little place to live, to be fair. Young'un's got his football team just down the road. His school's, literally 2 minutes in car down the road. It's It's all right, but yeah, technically not now, which does piss me off because I do like a good old LS postcode. What about you, Philip? Are you close? Juventus, yeah, Juventus Del Piero, Nedved. I absolutely loved them. He was my favourite player from Italian 90s were probably Battistutto. I absolutely love Battistutto. Absolutely loved him. Roberto Baggio, Battistutto, they're people I used to love watching. Totti, who was still playing like it felt like yesterday. He's been playing for like 40 years. Remember on Channel 4, James, is that the guy with bald head? Yeah, I didn't know his name. But yeah, he used to blag me head because he's obviously English, James Richardson, right? And he used to speak English, but then when he spoke Italian, obviously, and he spoke with an accent when he was saying players' names. I'm like, where's this guy from? Like, he sounds like he's like my next door neighbour in Leeds, but then he sounds like he's full on Italian, so he used to blag my head. Yeah, honestly, the teams were unreal. Hey, Rich. Teams were unreal. Yeah, the defenders as well. Maldini, Nesta, Costa. There were some right players, weren't there? Inzaghi. Remember Inzaghi brothers? Against the fucking Roman Van Basten and Hullet. Van Basten, what a legend. I've watched all I'm massive into like nostalgia and the legends of the past and retro shirts and that, and I love a good retro shirt with I used to have the one with Hullet on back when I was younger as well. Richard Woodthorpe, I cannot believe how good Longstaff has been for us. I must have just a lot of people underrated him and underestimated him, Richard. You're not on your own, mate. A lot of people did. Newcastle are gutted he's gone. Some of them were gutted he's gone. Some weren't. A lot of them are now more gutted he's gone. You don't know what you've got until it's gone sometimes, do you? Use the eye test. He looks really good in the air. Yeah, he does. He really does. Lazio were my team. Saturday morning highlights. Sunday afternoon, I tried to replicate Signore. Oh, Signore's 2-yard penalty run up. Hell, some right players. He used to play Premier Manager, football manager. Yeah, Premier Manager, not the game. 99 Premier Manager. What a game that were on PS1, I think. It'll be in PS1, won't it? Premier Manager, right game. And he used to always be in the Italian side all the time. R9 when he played for Inter Milan, just unbelievable. Parma had one of the best. Yeah, Parma were class. Buffon started there as well, didn't he? I just like Parma. DCL has always been at his best in a 4-4-2. Ask any Everton fan with us. He's up front his own. While Pirro is on the bloody bench, they would play together. Yeah, it'd be such a formation change in the 4-3-3 is working. I can't disagree though, Colin. Although I do think DCL's playing banging now. I aren't going to moan at that. But if you're a massive Pirro lover, Colin, which I think you are, and you can see the qualities DCL has, as a 2, would it work? It probably would. But would that affect the balance of the team and maybe concede other goals? I think the 4-4-2 is seen as this dinosaur old school formation that won't work in modern football. And I think that's a load of BS. I think 4-4-2 would work really well in modern football. And I think a lot of teams have struggled to adapt with a 2 up top. I don't understand why it's not used very often now, because now you have 2 centre halves occupying 1 player. The fullbacks normally can take care of what's going on downside. And you've got 1 striker trying to, outmuscle 2 absolute monsters a lot of time. All of a sudden, you get big man, little man, and they've got so much more. They've got double the amount of people to worry about. I don't know why they don't do it, Colin. But Leeds aren't going to, unfortunately. Before Nesta, it was Costa Baresi at centre back. They won the European Cup. Baresi, right player. Parma had some players in the 90s that went on to become great players. Yeah, they did. It was what a decade of football. Pint and breakfast, bap in the Peacock. I'll be halfway through my four course meal. Water. Oh, SJ, where did Villa finish? And Palace and Forest. They're not easy games. No game in this league is easy. Well, Palace had a pretty good side, mate. Villa had a pretty good side, mate, bar this season, but they're going to come good. And Forest, that is an easier game, I'd say, because of where they are right now under a new manager, Postecoglou, loads of chances. If that were Forest last season, you would have lost. I think you're gonna get harder games, mate. Forest away and Scum away, they're difficult-ish on paper, but the games before that wasn't. No matter what you think, you had an easier start than most. You did, but it doesn't matter because you've done well. I'm not sitting here going, you had a really easy start and you fucked that up. You had an easy start. You got the Robert Green when fixtures come out. We all play each other twice over the course of the season. It doesn't matter. But sometimes the fixture congestion, the fixtures that fall in a nice little order for you can build momentum. So sometimes if they fall for you right, it can actually be a massive positive to take throughout the season. Ultimately, you all play each other twice. It doesn't massively matter. But the way yours have fallen, it's giving you a massive opportunity to get points on the board early when you've got an AFCON coming over here. But everyone's, AFCON, 5 players leaving. Have you? I don't know. Is it a problem? Maybe. Will it be a problem? Probably not, because you're doing well anyway. But it's just a fact. I'm teetotal, so for me, it would be a Yorkshire tea and a bacon butter getting my belly. Good lad. Belial for me, LS10. Mad one. Little story for you, Philip. Listen to this, right? This is a bit of a mad story. Straight off topic. Can't think of Belial and not think of this. So one of my mates used to play. 2 of my mates used to play rugby for Corinthians. So I used to drop them off and pick them up all the time because neither of them could drive, and I was their apprentice. But anyway, so I used to go to Belial all the time and pick them up. There was a club at top of there. I can't remember what club were called. Anyway, so I used to go Belial Circus, roundabout, over roundabout, and just drop these lads off. And when I was buying my first house when I was like 20 years of age, did it all quite young. Then it all crumbled to the ground with a breakup of a relationship, and I had to start again. Anyway, and I was looking to buy an house, and I'd seen a price, and it was like, oh, where's that? Really cheap, it's affordable. Oh, it's in Belial. Oh, no offense. I'm like, I don't want to live in Belial. Don't want to live in Belial. It just scared me. I never opened my door apart from I let my mate out, and then I locked the door again. Anyway, no offense, but I did. I went to view this house in Belial Circus. Went up to roundabout, turned right, pulled in this cul-de-sac, right, knocked on the door, thinking this house it's in me. It's really nice house in a bit of an area I'm not too keen with, but fuck it, it's a nice house. Knocked on the door, opens door. No one looked down. It was a dwarf. He was a dwarf, right? It was a very small man. It was an actual dwarf, right? Lovely guy. Can't remember his name. Hopefully it wasn't you, Philip. Lovely guy. Walked in, and the house on the pictures looked mint. Nice worktops. Everything looked really good. And I was like, these proper nice houses. Like, unless I get there and neighbours are kicking off, probably going to buy it. Walked in, and everything, was adapted for him and his needs. So the kitchen unit was was the same height as my kneecaps. So they had the nicest kitchen in, and it was the height of my kneecaps. The light switches were at the height of my kneecaps. I could have turned the light on and off with my knee, but it would have dimmer, so it would have been impossible. But yeah, it was all adapted for a small person, and being 6'2", I couldn't believe I was gutted. And obviously, it would have cost just too much money to raise everything 2 foot. But funny story about Belial. Whenever I think of Belial now, I just think of that day, because fucking mad. Yeah, mad. Don't know why I told you that, but it's just I thought it was a bit of a funny story. So I didn't buy the house. Evening all. Hey, Top Banana, hope you well, mate. Salas, what a player. What he an Argentinian, wasn't he? Paraguayan. I got that wrong. Chilean. What he Chilean? Salas. He was Chilean, wasn't he? Chilean. In general, the 90s for football seem to be more fun. Some quality players and less egos, and some absolute beasts as well who just took your legs off. Been watching on Fire Stick, so couldn't be in the chat. All right, okay. No worries, Top Banana. Well, you're here now, mate. Hope you're well. Nedved, Lazio, then Juve, Championship Manager followed by Football Manager, both on PC. Brother, enjoy the posh settings. You work hard and deserve. Thanks, Bill, mate. Thank you, buddy. Fraser, wouldn't it be great for once to see a 4-4-2 with 2 strikers up top? It would be, mate. We know it ain't going to happen, but even if it wasn't Leeds, just watch someone else play that brand of football. Would be nice. Does anybody else do that? Does anyone know of any team currently, like in England, that plays a 4-4-2, even like in League One? Is there anybody who currently plays a 4-4-2, just to sort of gauge if it works? When Leicester won they were the only team who regularly. What is a standard 4-4-2 that though? Didn't they play with Vardy, with the Japanese player, just off him, like not quite a 4-4-2? What it? Am I right? Wasn't it Oscar? Oz? I can't remember. Am I right with that, or did they have someone else up top with him? What I used to like about Leicester as well that season is he just used to. It might have been that season. I think it was. If they were struggling, they just throw like Robert Hoof up top, wouldn't they? Just push him up there. Yeah. I'm not being funny. In the 90s, there's some good player, but Del Piero were probably the most talented footballer I'd seen, even though like there were Ronaldinho's and all that. But because I watched Italian football all the time, I used to think Del Piero were literally the best player in the world. And to be fair, he wasn't far off, was he? Let's be honest. My brother used to live in the estate behind Elton Bywater Club. If it's still there many moons ago. Well, Elton Bywater Club, is it still there? It's not called Elton Bywater Club. There's a working man's club on the main road that I live directly behind, King Edward, but it's not. Maybe it will call Elton Bywater Club, but the Elton Bywater football, where football is at the bottom of the hill. So I'm not sure if it's somewhere down there or me halfway downhill. Don't let Priestley nick the light bulbs from the Eddie Grace. Joking. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know it's going to happen. No, mate, I haven't. I'm just wearing a nice casual t-shirt, black jeans, and some smart trainers. If I get chucked out for that, then I'll just start kicking off. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be all right with that. Scum will be the easiest match of the season. I think so too, Philip. Their asses will fall out. I'm looking forward to that so much, I'm gutted. I didn't get no tickets for Burnley away for Ball. I'm going to take our feet out his first away game. It's not happened. So I'm hoping I'll get West Ham tickets, but then I'm hoping to do Brighton away on coach, which is mental going all the way to Brighton. But I might do it. Because I've coaxed our lass into coming because I've got 2 tickets for it. You come with me, babes. We'll go to Brighton together. You'll have a really good time. It's lovely. Lovely for ladies. Yeah, I just really want to go. Using 4-4-2 for the last 20, 30 minutes at home is a tactic worth exploring. Yeah, I agree, Richard. I agree. Grey Goose. I'm in Wortley Ellis 12. I remember you telling me that, mate, when you walked down to meet us, mate. My brother lives just behind Matalan. I used to work at Matalan when I was 16. I worked there 16 till I was 18. I went 2 years. Although I didn't really work. I just tossed it off and messed around. And yeah, it was like being on fitting rooms, just sit there. And when people say, how many have you got? I didn't care. How many have you got free? I'm not bothered. Like, just don't nick out. I'll be right. I'll be here sleeping because I've been out on piss and only got in half an hour ago. That will be at Matalan. Class days. Used to think it was shit as well. 4-hour shift felt like it was 4 days, didn't it? Doing 4 hours, I'm like, oh my God, 16 hours. Look at me, Ross, 16 hours. Oh no, 16 hours at work. Oh no, fucking hell, this is shit. Just so I could go out to Evan and L for a night and drink reef and stick to dance floor. I'll go to Bondi Beach and throw up because I'm just dizzy from being on revolving dance floor. Or at 17, get rejected from Majestics and sneaking through jumping jacks anyway because that doorman wasn't quick enough to tell other doorman because there were no technology like there were these days. You know what I mean? The good old days. I literally wasn't allowed off street till I was like 17. My mum will wrap me up in cotton. Well, I was not allowed to do anything till I was 17. And then I started going out then at 17. And it was like, oh my God, I wasn't even allowed out of the square that I lived in. And all of a sudden I'm in town looking at loads of people who don't want to look at me with class. With red and white flashes in my hair because I was an absolute ponce. And that's what I thought looked good. Red, pink. I can't even say pink. Pink, red and blonde just equals pink. So I literally like pink flashes in my hair, ripped jeans and a silver chain, Belcher chain with brown wallabies and a brown belt with my shirt tucked in. I look like a right twat. I'm wearing that tomorrow. my cat won this month. It's called Piro. Pure Black Cat. He's large. Class that, Colin. Massive Piro fan then. Bless you, man. That's class. Danny Roma had a handful of Brazilians back then, didn't they? If I remember right. I think they did. I think there were a few. The dwarf, was he short of water? Hey, I ain't going down that road. Yeah, I ain't going out. But yeah, it was lovely though. In morning, depending on whether I cook myself an omelette and a cuppa and go for a decent walk before watching the game. Yeah, it's not a bad way to start your day, that is it, mate? If you can get out with weather. Omnibus, that was the pub. I used to go to Omnibus after work on a Friday. I've never been a massive drinker and I hated it. But because I used to drive this lad home, I was an apprentice. I drive to Omnibus every Friday with a couple of pints he'd be, and then I'd drive him home, even though he probably could have walked home in 10, 15 minutes. Omnibus, that is a pub, yeah. I had a primary school what backed onto the side of it, I think. Yeah, it did. Yeah. That was a mad little story. Philip, it was. Mad little story. No pun intended by, I'm sure. I think my local team, Halifax, play 4-4-2, or I've done in recent past, and they're doing well with it, though. And it's the best place in Leeds. Will have anyone. And it's the best place in Leeds this we will like. Yeah, to be fair, great people. Great people. I always felt a little bit uneasy because I like an outsider, but because I knew my mate Eddie and a lad called Gleds, they were good mates of mine. I went to a couple of house parties and that there, and some stuff went on when I was like, wow. Like I said, I went on like that square till I was 17. I'm like, whoa, this is like next level, but really good people. Really good people. So they still live there now, and I still talk to it today. I felt like a dwarf when I met you in the Camden. Yeah, Martin. Yeah. It could have been you that answered door that day, to be fair, Martin. I'm not going to lie. Dwarf's name will stretch. If we went 4-4-2 to Moz, we could scare the hell out of Spurs, but have not. Yeah, I think they would have been like, what the fuck's going on here? Okazaki for Leicester. Mahrez played on the right, but he play off Vardy in certain games? Okazaki, he was a good little player. I liked him. So you learned a lesson. Do not judge a book by its cover, but great story. And it is so nice to see you not just saying something bad about short people. That's what I love about it. Oh, yeah, too right. Not bad to say. Just a story. It blew my mind. And yeah, it was gutting because I really wanted the house. But yeah, just he was a dwarf, but a lovely man too. And I don't think he'll struggle to sell it. I didn't have the budget, to do the work that we needed. Yeah. You'll need a tie tomorrow for the corporate suites at Elland Road. Don't tell me that, Nige. Don't tell me that, because I'm gonna have to Google and double check. I don't think I do. Honestly, Nige, I don't think I do. And if we do, we're knackered because Priestley doesn't have a tie. Loving the little video doing cheers for it's just so easy at work. When I'm having a brew or whatever, I don't really have many breaks, but when I nip out, go to loo, have a quick drink, I just think, if I got time, watch Presser or whatever. I do a lot of stuff as well where I'm stood at work and I'm terminating cables or whatever, and I can just have my phone so I can listen to Presser, go, right, I'm going to go do a quick video, start uploading. Sometimes it takes an hour and a half, depending on signal, but I can bang it to upload and bang it in my pocket and go back to work. So it works quite well. You know me, I just churn out content just because I just enjoy doing it. So Del Piero is God, such a good player, Boss Nass. I knew you would love him. He's probably the reason you fell in love with Juventus, I would assume. Be one of the reasons. Ripping the shit out of Scumchester United, I hope so, buddy. I think that happens too. See, your audience wouldn't mind me wearing a Juve shirt, might they? Love it. To be fair, yeah, I did tell Boss Nass, like, just don't be wearing a Juventus shirt, especially his first thumbnail. I think for Late Night Leeds, he had a Juventus shirt on, and Adam didn't even say that. Like, I'm sorry, it's great. Yeah, I love it. Do you mind taking that off and putting a Leeds shirt on and wearing it, please? Because yeah, but yeah, probably right, Boss Nass. Leeds Corinthians, I played them at rugby. I worked with Ian, Leeds, British, European, middleweight, European wrestling champion. He lived in, oh, wow. Bloody hell. Lived in Middleton. I don't like people taking the mick out of dwarfs, especially one with learning difficulties. I mean, it's not big and it's not clever. I'll get my coat. Yeah, get your coat, mate. Get your coat, Dickler. Love it, Philip Anderson. Serie A was quality in the 90s. Zola, Vialli, Crespo. Yeah, Chiesa, Ibrahim Bar with his white hair from Milan and France. Yeah, there's some absolute classics in there, mate. They're currently the playoffs in the National League. They've made a few. Okay, so it is working for them. I'm only 5'7". That's fairly short for a bloke in the modern day. Seems 6 foot plus is the average. Yeah, I think he's average 5'9", 5'10". So I'm just over 6'2". Mr. Whitesnake, hiya, mate. How you doing? Do not do a short vid on the loo. No, I won't, mate. Turn your scarf into a tie 80 style, yeah. I might have to. It looks like it'll be a Matalan trip in morning. Find a tie at the local charity store for a few quid. Yeah, I've got ties. It's just whether shirts will still fit me. Remember when I cut your hair before Halo Monday? Oh, Jay. Mental. My mate Jay and Malice Edits, we literally went to Halo. This was when I was a bit older, this wasn't it? This was like about 10 years ago. And he was literally younger than me. About maybe 7 or 8 years younger than me, mate. But yeah, good looking lad, my mate Jay. Always pulled girls. He used to look at, even though I was like older than him, he used to look at me and think, oh God, gift it Gab a lot. And he had this hairstyle and I thought it looked well cool. I said, you can do that to me. And he went, yeah, I'll do it for you. And honestly, I let him cut my hair before I went out and I shaved it and literally I looked like an iced gem. So I was bald, literally bald up to here. And I just had I looked like an iced gem and I went to Halo looking like this iced gem. It was fucking awful. Why did I let you do that, Jay? At what point did I think this lad was just up for a laugh and he's a mate of mine? I love him a bit like a brother. But at what point did I think, I tell you what, I've never seen him cut hair before. But I think he can have a go before I go out and piss. And unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is mental. This is supposed to be a preview for tomorrow. This is just turning into some nuts stuff, this. What's happened to Bamford? He was on a free to Spain somewhere, or did he get injured on the plane? I think he went, didn't he? I think he went. Getafe. I'm sure he went to Getafe, but then again, I've not seen anything since. So did it even happen? Ooh, I don't know. True thoughts for tomorrow. I'm getting up for this now. Cannot wait. The job done. 3-1 Leeds. 3-1 Leeds. Who was a blonde-haired Russian striker who played in Serie A? He was shit hot. Not sure, mate. Not sure. That could be him. I'm not joking, Matty, but while playing rugby at York, there was multiple teams. God honest truth, there was a dwarf playing for Beverley. Wow. Fair play. Fair play. Got any picks? Jay has somewhere, actually, yeah. But I don't think I have. But then again, you never know. You never know, do you? Let me just have a quick look. I could have, but then again, I don't know. But you never know. So let's have a little look. Don't post that much in here. So there is a chance. Do you want to see Skinny Matty? Skinny, look at that. I probably can't see on there. Look at Skinny me. Look at that. One more rep. Acting like I've been at gym. Look at that. What was that? 2018, 8 years ago. Me and my little girl, look at that. Skinny me. Skinny me. But yeah, that Ice Gem picture, I would have thought it would be on here somewhere, but trying to find it might be quite difficult. I do think I've got it on here, though, to be fair. Nah, I don't think we'll be able to find it. They have some horrible hairdos, honestly. Some awful, awful hairdos. Yeah, nah. I'll have to show it. I'll show you another time. Jay will have it somewhere. Yeah, nah, it's not there. It's not there, guys. Shameful took over. Do you know what it was? It always took over. And then I had about an 8-month period in my life where I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to lose all this weight. And then, yeah, I got happy again. And it all went back on. Honestly, John, I look like an Ice Gem. Genuinely look like an Ice Gem. It was awful. AG and IG, Ice Gem. Richard, Max, thanks for your time and giving us the best content on the net lead preview and Matty life story is great. You know me, I'm just myself. I'm a bit of a div. But yeah, as previews go, it's probably the worst out there. But as a guy, I'm just myself. And if you like it, great. If you don't, then you're not here for it. Fair enough. Proper lads chat this. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it, mate? Looks like Bamford hasn't signed for anyone. Yeah, I didn't think so. 3-0 Leeds, top banana. I love that, mate. Yeah, it definitely is. Mate, you looked sound. You're thinking about it too much. Didn't even look bad. Mate, give over. It was awful. You're going to say that because you're the one that cut it. Still love you, but I looked at twat. You was suave and sophisticated, mate. Never. Yeah, man, you are a top lad. You too, Philip Anderson, mate. Great guy. Right, we'll wrap it up on that then. Looks like everyone's off for it, and me too. This is why this show is a dog's bollocks, not just footy chat, just good chat between footy fans and having a laugh. Yeah, honestly, it's a great space. I always feel that the chat's always positive. Even when it's a little bit of a negative result, we still try as best to speak the truth, get it out there, and then come to terms with it and move on pretty quickly. But yeah, absolutely fire that chat today. Thanks so much for it. I even had notes a lot. I'm looking because I'm going to read it. Leeds done well, really. Leeds have done well, really. Respects Farker, good friend of his. This is what Thomas Frank had to say. Elland Road is one of the best stadiums to go to, even as an away team. They defend really well, give little away in open play, which I thought were quite fun because he reiterated that twice. Did Frank in his presser. They defend really well in open play, as if to say, but set pieces, we can get at them. So we will see how they do. We will see how they do. But that is definitely the... to be fair, you have previewed the match. To be fair, I previewed the match yesterday on Late Night Leeds with Adam and Boss Nass. We went through it quite in depth in there. But yeah, it's just been a waffle on here. And I love waffles. 4-0 says Diggler. Great space, don't tell anyone, please. Cheers, Richard. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Martin. Thank you, Ryan. Ronnie, Leeds 0, Tottenham 3. Ronnie, do one, lad, but come back over the weekend and apologise for that horrible prediction. Sorry, Mike. Don't you worry about it. Ronnie, don't spoil the I know. Be nice and positive, then Ronnie just drops that in at last minute. What are you doing, Ronnie? Ronnie Pickering. Is that who you are? Good night, Mike. 2-0 Leeds. Represent takes from 100%. There'll be a vlog. I'm going to be doing a match day vlog, obviously, with the experience you get for paying £1 million. Good night, you sexy lot. See you when we smash Spurs. Night, buddy. Sound. I've got a song to play as well. One you've heard before, but we'll play you out with scrapbook memories. Check out my Spotify if you haven't already. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Smash a like on the way out, please. Please subscribe and all that jargon. Thanks so much. Martin, take care. Have a great day. Cheers, Nige. 3-1, says Philip Anderson. Night, buddy. Night. Love yous all. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.
My uncle took me by the hand to Elland Road one day. The roar of the crowd, the sea of white, I was miles away. We couldn't go too often, money was tight at home, but every Saturday I'd find a way to make that team my own. Radio crackling hot my throat as they kicked off at 3. Highlights laid on telly nights, that was Leeds for me. I'd cut out all the paper clippings, stick them in a book. My scrapbook dreams, my childhood team, each memory I took. Chapman rising like a king, heading home with pride. Wallace dancing through the lines, defenders left behind. A midfield made of iron, grit and glory in their eyes. Leeds United, under Wilkinson we touched the sky. Panini stickers on my wall, your boy was the one. Thunderbolts from nowhere, Lord those goals would stun. I traded school for every card, just to get them all. Heroes on a budget, standing proud and tall. Chapman rising like a king, heading home with pride. Wallace dancing through the lines, defenders left behind. A midfield made of iron, grit and glory in their eyes. Leeds United, under Wilkinson we touched the sky. Didn't need the world to know us, didn't need the fame, just the badge, the fight that never die, the beauty of the game. From Batty's bite to Strachan's brain, every piece fit tight. They built a team and lit a dream in every Leeds kid's night. Chapman rising like a king, heading home with pride. Wallace dancing through the lines, defenders left behind. Yebo's thunder shaking nets, pure magic in disguise. Leeds United, under Wilkinson we touch the sky. Still hear the echoes in my heart from those old match day highs. Just a lad with a radio and scrapbook dreams, watching legends rise.